GOLIATH-Children. Don't forget to subscribe.
David and Goliath. A long time ago, in the land of Israel, there lived a young boy named David. He was the youngest of 8 brothers, and lived in Bethlehem with his father Jesse. While his older brothers went off to fight in the army, David stayed home to take care of his father's sheep. Every day, David led the sheep to find fresh grass and clean water. He made sure none of them got lost. He loved playing his harp and singing songs to God while watching over the flock. But taking care of sheep was not always easy. Wild animals roamed the land, looking for food. One day, as David watched his sheep, a lion crept out of the bushes. It grabbed a lamb in its jaws and tried to run away. David jumped up and ran after the lion. He took his staff and hit the lion, making it drop the lamb. When the lion turned to attack him, David grabbed it by its mane and killed it with his bare hands. Another time, a huge bear came to steal a lamb. But David was not afraid. He took his sling and a stone, swung it around, and hit the bear on its head. The bear fell down, and David saved his sheep again. David knew that God was with him and gave him strength to protect the flock. Far away, a great battle was happening. The Israelites, led by King Saul, were fighting the Philistines, their enemies. The Philistines had a mighty warrior named Goliath. He was a giant, over 9 feet tall, with strong armor and a huge spear. Every day, Goliath came out and shouted, "Who will fight me? If any man can defeat me, we will be your servants. But if I win, you will be our slaves." But no one in Israel dared to fight him. They were all afraid. One day, David's father, Jesse, asked him to take food to his older brothers who were in the army. David quickly packed some food and set off for the battlefield. When he arrived, he heard Goliath shouting his challenge. "Why is no one fighting him?" David asked the soldiers. One of the men said, "Goliath is too big. No one can beat him." David shook his head. "Why are you afraid? God will help us. I will fight Goliath." The soldiers took David to King Saul. "You are just a boy," Saul said. "How can you fight a giant?" David told Saul about how he had killed the lion and the bear. "God helped me defeat them. He will help me defeat Goliath too," David said. Saul saw that David had great faith, so he agreed to let him fight. He gave David his own armor to wear, but it was too big and heavy. "I can't wear this. It's so heavy," David said. "I will fight with what I know best." David took his sling and chose 5 smooth stones from the river. Then he walked toward Goliath. When Goliath saw David, he laughed. "They send a boy to fight me? I will crush you." But David was not afraid. "You come with a sword and spear," he shouted. "But I come in the name of the Lord. He will help me win." David put a stone in his sling and swung it faster and faster. Then he let it go. Whoosh! The stone flew through the air and hit Goliath right in the forehead. Thump! Goliath fell to the ground. The great giant was defeated. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they ran away in fear. The Israelites cheered and chased the Philistine enemies away. David became a hero in Israel. King Saul was amazed and kept David in his palace. But David knew the truth. It was not his strength that won the battle. It was God who gave him victory. The story of David and Goliath teaches us, with God, we can overcome big problems. We don't need to be big or strong to do great things. Faith and courage are more powerful than fear. And so, David went on to become one of Israel's greatest kings, always trusting in God.
GOLIATH-Children. Don't forget to subscribe.